Thanks again to Carbon Health for being our presenting sponsor. If you're a regular here, you guys know about Carbon Health. I talk about Carbon Health all of the time, and they help with things like COVID, cold and flu testing, antibiotic prescriptions for things like infections, UTIs, STDs. They have primary care services in California and Massachusetts. But if you are new here, and thank you for stopping by the way, and you should also know that they can help with injuries also. Most of their locations have imaging or x-ray machines so they can diagnose strains, sprains, and fractures if you unfortunately become injured. And I know, unfortunately, not everybody will be near one of their 120 locations. I get it. But they do have virtual urgent care services for states like California, New York, Florida, and several others. So thanks once again to Carbon Health. There is a link in the description for them. They're the best. They've been with us for a bit. You should be too. All right. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to The Big Thing. Excited to have you back here today. We got a lot to talk about, man. Obviously, remember that whole big plan? We're going to do big event movies every 3 years for Star Wars. We're going to start in 2025. Forget it. We're going to just do, we'll do 2 movies in 2026. Why? I don't know, because we're not going to stick to anything we say. Del Toro, he's going to stick to doing animated. We got a lot of news from James Gunn and the DCU, for sure. James Mangold, another James Mangold, talking not only on his press tour for Indiana Jones, starts talking about his Star Wars movie. He's going to start writing it soon, and it looks like we might have a date zoning in on it. But he really talked about like the particular way he's approaching it. So we're going to get into that. They have the Star Wars Outlaw game that premiered, or they showed a trailer for anyway. There's a live-action Bambi. We got tons of stuff to talk about on today's show with myself and Mike and Steph, and we're here today to do it with you guys. Now, where we're going to be doing? We're going to be doing New York, baby. New York. That's right. And it's coming up. I hope you get those tickets, man. TheChristianHarloff.com. You can also live stream it. You can do it a la carte. Another thing you can do a la carte, by the way, Shoes and Beef. That's right. Shoes and Beef coming to the website, and that will be... That one actually won't be a la carte, but that one will be available to $10 patrons July 1st. And you can go to the website right there. This is the one that I love. Wicked Art did this Capes and Cowls comic book, and issue 1 is going to be on the website on July 1st. You can head over there. You can get a la carte. You can do all that and more. So we hope that you will join us. And if you hit that button, subscribe, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, anywhere podcasts are found. All right, let's do it. Let's do the big thing. Me, Steph, Mike, I'm ready. Do it. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back. Big thing. Myself, Steph Sabra.
Hello.
Mike counting out. Look at Mike. Mike looks good today.
What?
Yeah, you got a nice tan.
Did you get a tan? Where'd you go? You go somewhere?
No, we're just sitting out.
Oh, okay. So you went outside. You do go somewhere.
It's outside work. You know, I'm sitting here protecting the atoll. I'm in an atoll.
You better.
In Waterworld.
An a-hole protecting the atoll.
Protector of the a-hole.
Fucking go.
Mike.
Hey, no cursing. No
Lover
cursing.
of the a-hole.
Lover. Are you? Okay, good for you.
Come on now. Of course.
Come
on now.
Come on now, of course.
It's very important.
Anyway.
It is.
Yeah, look. Since she's been out of the Instagram game, your girlfriend's been taking up the space now, too. So there you go.
Hilarious.
So we're
very
back.
good.
Yeah.
Very good.
I was just talking about that this morning.
What'd you
Muy
say?
bien. What do you say?
I'd say trap away.
Right.
I don't give a fuck. I'm not one of those men that are like, no, what are you doing? Cover up. I was like, there's more than she's like, I can't put this in. I was like, yes, you can. Yes, you can.
Because
I love her.
Yeah, because Mike also shows the confidence in Mike. Mike knows it. Mike
She looks great.
Yeah, good for you.
She does.
I want the under
Yes, she does.
Under boob hanging out.
I know you so well
cheek.
that people are like, what, you think mine's?
No. I was like, I
Why
bet
would I
Mike's
mind?
happy.
Mine's.
Why would I mind?
Most people mind.
Why?
Because Mike walks by and goes, that's what I do.
They mind.
I want to
Yeah.
ask, it's like you getting guys sliding in your DMs? Are they sliding in there? Let me hear. Let me
Look
read
at them. They're
Right.
funny.
And she doesn't. She doesn't really get the DMs from guys. But I'm
Good.
like, slide them in there.
Don't encourage me.
Yet.
Ah, come on now.
Anyway,
It's
right,
all
look,
good fun.
Well, welcome back. We got a lot to talk about. It's for you guys who are joining this show for the first time. And you're wondering, I thought you guys just do a Sith Council show. This is essentially the Sith Council show. We just, for the first half an hour, we talk about all the stuff going on in Star Wars news and kind of get into that. And then we'll go into some other topics. So we also have the Flash is tracking really well. I wanted to get Mike's thoughts on that. Did you see the movie yet?
No.
Oh, okay. But anyway,
Spoil it for me. No.
no spoils, no spoils. But we are gonna. So we'll talk about a lot of things, and then Ahsoka's right around the corner. And once Ahsoka comes out, the full episode will be back to Star Wars for the whole show. But that being said, there are a few different stories, and let's get to them. All right, here's this report, and this came out. There's a whole big report about all the movies that are getting moved, whether it's Deadpool, Avatar, all that. But Star Wars new release calendar adds 2 films in 2026. The 2025 date now Gonski, and that's where Avatar lands. But Disney has announced that they will no longer be releasing a Star Wars film on December 19, 2025. Instead, they are planning on releasing 2 features in 2026, 7 months apart on May 22nd, 2026, and December 18th, 2026. First film on that list comes out 3 weeks after Avengers: The Kang Dynasty, that's smart, is released in theaters, and the company has not announced which movies will come out on each date. However, the most likely scenario is that this is the Charmaine Obaid-Chinoy directed film that we're targeting for 2025, and that due to the writer's strike, they had to press pause for that on the moment. Meanwhile, the December date is likely the Dave Filoni directed film that will culminate the overarching story told in The Mandalorian and spin-off shows during the New Republic era. There's the 3rd Star Wars theatrical release marked on the calendar for 2027, December 17th, which as far as we know hasn't been moved. With the recent production updates, it's likely it's the James Mangold written and directed film. There's 2 more Star Wars films in development, one by Taika Waititi and another by Sean Levy. Yada, 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 yada. Okay, so there's a lot of date changes here, but the biggest for what we're talking about right now is this the Star Wars shift, right? So here, let's start with the negative on it right away, because it goes back to the PR thing that we've talked about a million times over. I'm going to start with you, Steph. So we keep talking about this. This keeps happening. There is an announcement that is made that's like, oh no, this is what we're doing. This is how it's going to happen. No, you know what we really want to do? We want to do this. We're going to go to this James Bond thing. Never mind that George Lucas used to do it.
Yeah.
We're going to do this James Bond every 3 years. Event film. This is like a month ago. We're going to do these big event things every 3 years. And we got a movie coming out in 2025. Hey, by the way, just kidding. 2026 is when we're going to put the movie out. And just kidding. We're putting 2 out. And then, remember that 3-year thing? Forget about that. The next year, we'll put another one out. Just stop saying things.
Right.
That was only a month ago, wasn't it?
It was like a month ago. But first of all, let's stay with that.
Okay.
Are you on the same page with me on this?
Yeah, I really feel like, I don't know if they need a hug over there, but it feels like they're like, hey, we're still here. Like every month when their movies get moved or anything, it's like they want people to still know they're still here, but it's like, we know that. So just work on the movies and then release them when you're ready. Stop telling us.
Yeah, but stop telling us the wrong thing.
Right.
It's not even stop telling us. Stop telling us the wrong thing. Why do you do that?
Are all of these delays because of the writer's strike?
I think it certainly has something to do with it, but I think there's other things involved as well. But I think, yeah,
because this was a pattern before the writer's
strike.
strike.
But I also think that they wanted to get the hell out of the way of Avatar. Avatar's probably like, we're not ready yet. Avatar's going to take a little bit more time. Avatar right now, if you're Disney and you have Avatar Star Wars, Avatar is the sure winner over Star Wars right now.
You're 100% right.
And you're like, Avatar wants that spot. Bye-bye. Get out of the way. And okay, I guess we'll move out of the way. And then they do. I think it is stupidity to put it 3 weeks after Avengers again. That's what they did last time. And how'd that work out for Solo?
Right.
Yeah. So I think it's complete. And that might be a Bob Iger thing and not a Kathleen Kennedy thing. But maybe because it's like, okay, well, look, last time it was Solo. There wasn't enough interest in it. But I don't know. What do you think about this, Mike? Yeah.
That's what I got to say on that. I don't know. Because if we talk, it was a month ago with this announcement. The writer's strike's been going on for, I think, 5 weeks now.
Something like that.
So clearly you knew you were going to go on strike and you knew you should be delaying things. I'm going to say this. People give a lot of crap to DC. But what James Gunn did was the smartest thing. He said, we got 10 films, chapter 1. These are them. But didn't give dates.
And there's still more to come.
And they say, this is the order. Superman's coming first, and they're going after that. We don't know dates.
Right.
When they're done, and they'll come out there. And we're all fine. We're all like, great, can't wait. This Star Wars BS, we just talked about this. 3-year plan, every 3 years. Nah, 2 a year, and then one next year.
And it was like last month.
Like, what the? Like, how do you do that? How do you plan your slate?
It's like, but that goes back to that Roxy thing. You need a PR person to go, don't say that.
Shut your mouth. Shut your mouth.
All you need to do is this. All you need to do is say up top, hey, we have movies coming out. We're so excited. We announced those at Celebration. Can't wait to have when it is concrete. If it is, have you learned nothing? Nothing's been concrete.
I'll say this. Even Marvel's kind of fumbled on this a lot lately. They're kind of having to push stuff back.
Yeah, but their stuff has been a lot of different reasons.
I know,
too.
but look at Blade.
Yeah.
Blade, and now the Majors thing. Until the Majors things get straightened out, you don't tell a date for your Kang Dynasty film.
Right.
You should not.
They pushed it.
They pushed it, but you do need to figure that out.
Yeah.
And then talk about that because it
But
might not even be called Kang Dynasty anymore.
Right, but that makes sense, right? I think us people who are aware of the situation are like, oh yeah, take your time on that one.
Right,
Like,
because they were because
sense.
they had a plan and the plan was derailed because of things that happened
out of their control.
This didn't get derailed. This is more so like, well, I've done this a million times before of announcing things and saying things and then just kidding. Like what? I just don't understand why you say that. If you've announced 3 directors at Star Wars Celebration, that the math itself didn't add up. We said that when we talked about the story. Yeah. It doesn't add up. What are you going to do? You're going to put a movie out in 2025, then 2028, and then 2031? Why in the world would you even announce that?
Right.
But that's not the case. It makes more sense that they would do 2026 and 2027 because we always thought Filoni's would hit in that 2026.
Yeah.
And it hasn't been announced, but it certainly seems like it will because, again, the math. Ahsoka season 1 and potentially season 2 will land in between that time. Mandalorian season 4 and potentially 5 could land in between that time with a closure. So that all makes sense that it would pair up there. But it's not the thing that they're actually doing. Okay, so we're going to take a shot and do 2 movies in 2026. Okay, then let's see how it goes. Maybe you hit big in May, and then you hit big in December. And if you take that risk and it pays off, well, then you win at the table. It's not that. It's your announcements and your approach and your game plan is horrendous. I mean, horrendous.
Yeah, it's actually crazy at this point because we're so on the nose about it. Like we're always like looking for the news. So I don't think most people are aware, but it is like a comedy sketch to like keep announcing things and be like, not even saying sorry we announced that, just like next announcement. Like all of us are dumb.
But it's contradicting yourself every second.
So weird.
It's like, no, Feige never had a movie. And then the Russo brothers, we were going to direct that movie.
Yeah.
It's like what?
Oh, they were never officially announced as the directors. Yeah, they were. They were.
They were never officially announced as
But
directors.
come on.
If they're having those conversations, then clearly it was real. And it's just like those types of things. And then there was another thing that we saw. This is from a while ago, where she said something along the lines of George Lucas. Now he never really had a plan for 7, 8, 9, and there's various clips of him going, "Wow, we had a treatment for 7, 8, 9,"
and they we sold it to them and they didn't want it.
It's a matter of saying we did get something. We just decided to go another direction. Yeah. Okay, we might not agree with that, or some fans might not agree with it, but at least you're saying it's. I just don't. It's the approach of it is lunacy, and this is the latest one, but. Now let's try to shift into the positive of the news, right?
Okay.
And let's get into the actual movies themselves,
okay.
right? So taking a shot in May on a Rey movie, I understand the logic behind it because it's you have like if you compare Chef Steph.
Hello.
If you
I have been chefing.
Have you been chefing lately?
Yes.
So maybe see that was my subconscious knowing.
Chef Steph with the pot,
Chef
boy.
Steph. But tell me this, Chef.
Yes, Chef.
When it comes to Rey, right? I think that the reason why you can take a shot at it is because it is a proven entity, right?
Yeah.
As where Solo, even though Han Solo himself was very known, Alden whatever his name is, Alden Ehrenreich wasn't a proven entity. The movie had some problems. People weren't very excited about it at all. Plus, other variables.
Yes.
Do you think because it's Rey? That's why, and Daisy Ridley, and it's a well-known character, that's why they're taking the shot. And do you think it's a good move?
Yes, I definitely think so. I think the difference between Rey and Solo is a generational gap. everyone all the Gen Zers, they might like the original trilogy, but most of them are on the sequel trilogy. And so they recognize Rey and they don't have the same love for Han. And so I think that that's where you get the newer generation in.
Yeah, and it's casual.
Yeah.
Casual fans too.
Right. Yeah. It's like most people liked the sequel trilogy, casual fans. Casual fans. And most people liked or loved Rey as a character. She was one of the best parts of the sequel, in my opinion. So I think it's the safest decision if you want to like
if you're going to put something out in May.
Yes.
Yeah, because you're going to break if I'm Mike of Lucasfilm, they have not put the last movie they put out in May. And for Star Wars was Solo, and it's the only disappointment that they've had. Now they used to do the May date because that was
the original.
Yeah, but it was synonymous with Star Wars. It was May. It was like the first kind of big movie that ever came out in May.
Yeah.
So now they're shifting to do that because 3 weeks after Avengers. Now it's not the same Marvel that they went up against, in 2017 or whatever the hell it was. It's a different Marvel at this point. We don't know what the hell is even the Avengers. How much that's going to be excited about. So.
Right.
I can understand the idea of why you'd go for it, especially with the lead up to 2016. But what do you think if this is indeed the case that this movie's coming out? Good move?
3 months after or 3 weeks after the Avengers?
Yeah.
I don't know. You make a good point because I'm trying to think. We really Marvel's kind of in a weird spot.
Yeah.
It's a weird spot. We don't know who the Avengers are. It's not that buildup of 3 phases to this end thing. We already went through a phase and it feels very middling. Like middling as in it's just kind of sitting there. We're not building to anything yet.
Yeah.
The next 2 years will be very telling. So Rey's going in fresh. It's like there's nothing we need to build up to it. It's just how much do people want to see that movie? I don't know.
I think I understand the strategy.
I don't like to bet against Marvel.
No,
I just don't like to bet against them.
And they're on the same team too.
I know.
I
think to them it's just like, well, it's money.
It's 3 weeks in between, and they're hoping with their fingers crossed that they can try to make it work. And if people get hyped up, and with trailers and everything else that can come out, and people get excited what the story is and how they set it up, it could be the right move. It's then you lead into that December movie with Filoni, which if they're pacing it out right with the shows and getting everybody kind of excited throughout it, then it could be a good move.
Star Wars is interesting.
Go ahead, Steph. What?
I don't know I'm not as privy to the release date kind of tea. What's the difference between why is it this 3 weeks? Isn't there a big May 31st in July?
Oh, you mean like
premiere dates?
Well, I think that, and it also depends on which studios have already kind of booked out of it.
Okay,
right? Which is possible.
because of IMAX.
Yeah, but it just depends on maybe. And look, we're far enough out in 2026 that you might think there's more summer dates open and available. But maybe because they've already planned out Avengers when that was coming out and had and held that date or whatever, or they pushed it back too. But they wanted to aim at a certain area and then May, because it's synonymous again with Star Wars, they wanted to give it a shot and they wanted to hit hard because May does bring in more box office with summer a lot of times. You do hit July dates. It's ever changing. It's ever changing. So
it really is.
I don't know, how they're going to plan that out, but I think as you lead up to that Dave Filoni movie in December, I think it's a good. At least they have their flag set for 2025 with Avatar, 2026 with Star Wars in December. It's a good strategy. It's just a matter of risk. And the other thing, by the way, did you guys see this report? I've actually heard conflicting things about Idris Elba. Did you hear this?
No.
There was a report out there that said that Idris Elba was in consideration for the lead villain in the Rey movie.
Oh, I loved that.
I love that too, but then I got a call from somebody pretty locked into the Scoop world who said
no. I just rewatched The Suicide Squad and I was like,
so good.
Dang. Yeah. Idris Elba is such a good actor.
Do you ever see? You watch The Wire, right? You love The Wire.
I haven't. I know.
I'm
because
so shocked you've never seen The Wire.
I know because I watched Sopranos didn't have access to HBO in that era.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, my parents we were movie people, so we didn't have as many TV shows like that. But I know it's one of the best shows ever.
You would love it.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch it.
Yeah, but anyway, so I can say it. He told me I can call him on the air to talk about it. But Snyder called me and goes, Not true.
Um,
He goes.
I
He
believe
goes.
him.
I'm
not gonna lie.
Snyder is locked into
Yes.
into a lot of stuff. He's predicted a lot of things that were going down recently. So he's like, not true. He's like, I reached out to my source about this, and it's just, he's like, look, down the line, maybe if they grab, but he's not.
They should.
They should. It's a great idea.
I've never thought about him in Star Wars.
Yeah.
I love that idea.
Yeah, I think it's because he's been linked to Bond is one of the things.
Yeah.
too. And
Yeah.
So that could be something that's coming out.
That's true.
Yeah, I don't know. It was the thing I saw that I didn't agree with. Someone's like, "Well, he was in Star Trek. He can't be in Star Wars." I'm like, what are you talking about?
People are in
Get the
DC,
hell out of
Marvel.
here.
Yeah.
Get the hell out of here.
That made no sense. But
He would be in all the big franchises if he
That'd be
knows-
awesome.
If he
I
knows
know.
Star Wars.
But either way, look, it's exciting that we're getting more Star Wars movies, and it's exciting that we're going to get. I mean, look, the idea that we're getting 2 of them in 2026. But I will also say that is absolutely an Iger call as well. You know?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. He's going to go, hey, listen, we got to move Star Wars because Avatar needs to move. Avatar makes $1 billion just by saying, hey, we're making another Avatar movie. So
Yeah.
you guys move. What do you think about those 2 movies? What do we were planning on putting Dave's movie out in December. How about we push back the Rey movie like 6 months? We put it out in May, and then we put the other one out in December. So you're still sticking to the schedule you're supposed to, and we'll push that there, and then we'll have 2 big Star Wars, and we're back with a bang, and then we can do one in 2027. Every 3 years.
Right.
What?
Yeah, it makes no
Talking
sense.
about?
The article is interesting because Mangold's been talking about the script like publicly,
Yeah.
right? Like a few times. I think that's a really smart move by him because I do feel like if I was writing for Star Wars, I would make it known at this point, and I wouldn't care about, like, I would just be like, I'm writing this so that I have a greater chance of it not
Yeah.
like getting
let's
flown.
let's get into that. Because we have some Mangold stuff that we want to talk about also. All right, James Mangold. So maybe we are getting that film because it looks like that 2027 date has been held for him,
Okay.
which makes some sense. And now this is from our buddy Miguel Fernandez over at Star Wars Newsnet. Out of the 3 recently announced Star Wars films, the one that looks to be the most distinct is the new project by James Mangold, 25,000 years before The Phantom Menace, during an era dubbed as the Dawn of the Jedi. Whether this is going to be the title of the film, we don't know. He's been out promoting Indiana Jones, and IO9 asked him about his next collaboration with Lucasfilm, and the writer-director shared a few thoughts and insights. And this was what he said. He said, well, I've talked to Lucasfilm before and even worked a bit before on their other projects, and I'm always interested in what's going on there, and I have friends who worked on other Star Wars projects, but I understood that much of what they were doing was kind of continuing the saga forward. So when I mentioned to Kathy Kennedy the idea that I wanted to go backward, really far backward, I was surprised that it excited her and the other wonderful people she works with at Lucasfilm. For me, it's about I want to be part of the saga, but I also don't want to be holding so much lore in the air that you can hardly tell a story. And that's what I really wanted to do. What I told her was, can we just make a kind of 10 commandments of the Force, an origin story of how the Force came to be known, understood, wielded, and harnessed. It's a much better explanation than what we got before. With Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny about to premiere, it feels like we are living in Groundhog Day after the poor critical reception of the film during Cannes. Whether James Mangold will follow the path first walked by other filmmakers like Patty Jenkins, Benioff and Weiss, Josh Trank, Colin Trevorrow, Ryan Johnson, even being announced as director of the new Star Wars film right before their project receives critical fan backlash, we don't know. It's a good call by Miguel. However, we do know that James Mangold is not working on Star Wars next. He's supposed to start shooting a Timothée Chalamet-led Bob Dylan biopic, and according to reports, he wouldn't start writing this until the fall, because he's a guild member, obviously. The next 2 Star Wars films are the Daisy Ridley and then Dave Filoni movie. Okay. Yeah. So, well, this one, when it comes to the lore part of it, I saw some people writing me, oh, should we be nervous about this, that he doesn't want to stick to the Star Wars lore? No, he's 25,000 years before. The way that I interpreted that, and I want to see if you guys feel differently, is, well, there's all this stuff that basically what Ryan Johnson and JJ kind of ran into, and when you are doing familiar things, fans have like such an investment in it and a lock in it of like, well, what about that? That was said about this and that. You go 25,000 years into the past. You are the one with the keys to the car. You have the clear canvas now. You're the one painting. And what I love what he said, people are like, oh my God, we're going to see how the Force was created. No, that's not what he said. What he said, we're going to see how it was really kind of discovered, and people learned how to harness it. And people discovered that it's always been there, but it's like, no. People started to realize how to use it. I love that idea. I think that's a great idea. What do you, Mike? You're biting your lip and you're ready to say something.
No, I'm just going off of your analogy of a canvas.
Yes.
okay, if we are current day Star Wars, we've got our picture painted. That means he's got the colors that he can use.
Yeah.
He can't create colors and that we never see those colors again. You know what I'm saying?
Not really.
All right. If he's going back 25,000 years to create the commandments of the Star Wars,
Yes.
he can't do all these commandments that now and all
Right.
this lore we've seen is like, we don't talk about this anymore. Where's like we need to find out why there are always two, Sith
Right.
and an
Well,
apprentice. That is something that should be created.
That's not going to be in that 25,000 years because that's Darth Bane. So
After him,
yeah,
that's-
that's way
all
after.
right.
Darth, and that is canon because Darth Bane.
See, so maybe that's why he's saying, look, I don't want the weight of lore to
Right.
prevent
Right.
me from, because we just told that. Like, oh my God, like the stuff
Right.
he probably doesn't even know that he's like, I want to stay away from all that. I don't want to contradict anyone, but I want to tell my own story.
The idea of someone, that this thing's been around and the
Hold
first
on.
person that's able to connect to it and use it.
Okay,
it's interesting.
you're saying the Darth Bane thing.
Yeah.
But is that canon?
So you heard what I just said about 5 seconds ago, right? That's canon.
Yeah.
Okay.
How is it canon? We've never seen Darth Bane in any film.
False.
Films? We've seen Darth
Not
Bane.
films, but in canon.
In what?
I'm about to tell you. If
Is
you let me
Kathleen
know.
Kennedy considered canon?
Yes.
Because what she says goes.
Okay. So and what do we say normally is what they really look at canon, right? Films, TV.
Right.
So you have not watched the Clone Wars, my friend.
Right.
Clone Wars season 6.
Yes.
Yoda goes to this planet, and when he does, this Sith planet, I think it's Morban that he goes to, and he goes there and he sees a hologram or like not a hologram, but it was like this mist or whatever, and Darth Bane shows up.
Okay.
And Darth Bane tells him, I know. Yoda tells him, I know who you're Darth Bane. You created the rule of two. And
Okay.
He says that clear as day. So
And that's the first time we see Darth Bane.
that's the first time and do you know who? Here's a trivia question because you saw that episode.
Yeah.
Here's a trivia question for you. Do you know who voices Darth
No.
Bane?
Idris Elba.
No,
I wish.
Mark Hamill.
Oh wow!
Voices Darth Bane.
I
So-
think I
Yeah.
remember hearing
pretty
that
awesome.
because he is such a great
And that's
deal.
great.
Yeah.
That's great. All of
Okay.
that.
Yes.
And the hardcore fans love that.
Yes.
If he wants to create a story that does this, if Kathleen Kennedy go, well, in the episode of Clone Wars, Darth Bane appears in a mist, and this and that.
Filoni would lose his mind.
But
Because
Filoni's not in charge of the overall like
and
that.
It doesn't matter when it comes to the lore and stuff like that. Filoni's gonna walk into. Yeah, I'm telling you.
So Filoni didn't walk into any of this sequel trilogy stuff. It's like,
I think
what
he
you're
did.
saying here is a bunch of BS.
I
We
think
can't
he
be
did.
doing this.
If you believe the Freddie Prinze Jr. rumor, which I do,
And so
I
then
think
they
that
say,
Darth-
that's great, Dave. Take a hike. We're doing movies now.
yeah, I don't think so. I think you listen to him when he's got.
I would.
Yeah, I
but
think that they
I
do.
don't think he's. I don't think.
I think he has more power today than he did in 2016.
I agree.
Yeah,
100% on that.
So I think that if Mangold's like, well, I'm gonna do this, and then, well, we did that in our show, and it wouldn't make any sense because I think that type of thing they pay attention to it.
So then that's, I believe, depending on how Mangold and Filoni interact. Then
I want to know what's going on in your head right now. I see like a bunch of like
I know, 'cause
little dwarves just kind of spinning
I'll
wheels.
play devil's advocate from now on this
Yeah.
panel. From now on with Star Wars, I'll be the guy that takes the brunt of the crap.
All right, go ahead.
I could see him walking away going, creative differences ain't gonna happen.
I don't
Like-
think you're the only person saying that, buddy. I think everybody when he was announced goes, yeah, we'll see if it sticks.
But I'm just saying, like, if him and Filoni are doing this, Filoni's now, and I agree with you, as opposed to 5 years ago, I think he's got a lot more and should have a lot more say because he knows it.
Yeah.
But if these filmmakers want to come in and it's like, yeah, that's cool, but my story is this, like Lindelof had this great story, but there's like,
Yeah,
They're not gelling.
That's a
I'm
different,
out.
But you're not changing lore with that. You just have a take that they.
I
that
know,
they don't
but
want,
lore
which also
lore
makes
is
no
heavy.
sense. How did he pitch the take, Lindelof?
I don't know.
It's so weird. But either way, Steph. So you got this movie now with Mangold, and he's going to be writing it at the end. It looks like we're going to have enough time. What I will say is I understand the concern, and even basically what you just said, and Miguel said it in his report too. Will it stick? And if Indy doesn't do what they want it to do, although I'm hearing people who didn't see it at Cannes, like the critics who have seen it recently, it's getting better. It's getting positive spin on it. But hold on, I want to ask her.
Yeah,
So
ask her.
when you get to this movie, let's say for the sake of argument, it doesn't do well. And it's like, oh man, Mangold. People aren't going to write Mangold off. It's like you look at his past body of work. Look at what he's done. Like he's done something. Why wouldn't you stick with him?
Right. I also think he has a better chance of not getting the boot because he pitched an original idea.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't get like signed on to an idea that they want to do. I think that, and especially this one, it's kind of like, I feel like it makes sense when he says it to make a story like this. Like it feels like a very important story that they're gonna want to do it. And now I think they would have a lot of problems if they replaced him with if that was his pitch.
That's
Lindelof.
Well, not Lindelof.
Lindelof pitched a story.
He did, but not that one. Oh, you're saying in general.
I'm saying a different thing. Lindelof came in and pitched his story, and they're like, "Nah, we ain't doing this,
Not
but
anymore.
we're still going to take your script, and so and so is going to direct it."
Well, look, so the
I'm like,
argument to go along with what you're saying, actually, and agreeing with you, is they say that this was Mangold's idea, and I guess it was, but from everything that I heard from years ago, this is what Benioff and Weiss pitched. But
I thought so, like the Old Republic stuff, right?
Yeah, I think for a little bit more so, maybe not necessarily the discovery of the Force and how to use it, which is interesting. What I heard Benioff and Weiss's thing was that the beginning of the Sith and the Jedi and how they kind of came about and how the whole like the origins, like, so I would love to talk to those guys and see if, hey, don't worry about that NDA you signed. Like, what did you guys really pitch? Because was it close to what they're talking about now, or was it completely different? Because they were going back a long time too. Yeah. So I wonder like how much of it, how different it is. Because Mangold very well, I don't think Mangold's lying. Why would he lie? I think that he probably came in and said, well, I have this idea. And then maybe they're like, well, it was similar era where Benioff and Weiss were playing, but you have this idea instead. And it very well could be a very different idea. I mean, why? I believe Mangold. I don't think he's lying.
Yeah, that'd be.
But yeah, it's just interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's a good idea. I would love to see it.
Yeah.
I think that's a lot of pressure, that type of movie, though.
It is.
When you're like incepting the lore of like, what everyone loves.
Yeah. It's also a lot of pressure when you have a crappy phone bill. I'll tell you that. You want to make sure you have the right phone bill, and you want to talk about Mint Mobile. I'll tell you right now. Mint Mobile. You guys know Mint Mobile. We've been with Mint Mobile for a while. They've been with us for a while. And they're back as a sponsor. And it's so great because you got so many years of all these fine print contracts, and you've gotten ripped off by the big wireless providers. You know that you have. There's always a catch with those companies, because that's even when Mint Mobile first came on, everybody was, yeah, right, $15 a month, sure. What's the catch? There is no catch. There's no catch. The Mint Mobile secret sauce is that they are the first company to sell wireless service online only. That's why they keep popping up in the news. That's why, because companies that try like a shtick, they go away fast. Well, Mint Mobile has not gone anywhere. They're here. They cut out the cost of retail stores, and they pass those sweet savings directly to you. If you hate your phone bill, Mint Mobile offers premium wireless, just $15 a month. Mint Mobile gives you the best rate, whether you're buying one for your family. And at Mint, families start at 2 lines. It's awesome. They all come with unlimited talk and text and high-speed data delivery on the nation's largest 5G network. Get your own new wireless plan, just $15 a month. Get that plan shipped to your door for free. Go to mintmobile.com/thing. Mintmobile.com/thing. Cut your wireless bill to $15 a month at mintmobile.com/thing. All right, thank you once again to our sponsors over at Mint Mobile. I have talked about this many times over, and it helps tremendously. I just got this message from somebody yesterday. Said they signed up to Mint Mobile, and they signed up to Rumpl Blankets like right away from hearing this. Like, it helps out the show tremendously, but we also make sure that we get stuff that helps you guys. So if you're wondering, like we said, we don't do live shows here. We don't do the super chats and the robots and all that. We have these sponsors, and when you do it, you help out the show. People say all the time, how do I help out the show? Help yourself out. Get something that you like. And Mint Mobile is absolutely incredible, and you will be like, wow, I cut my bill tremendously. And it's just so, it's like, it's past the dinosaur age with how they're running stuff now. And it's the new wave of the future, and they're going to be kind of the pioneers of it. So you guys should check out Mint Mobile and use that code. It helps us out, and it'll help you out. All right, let's move on, and let's talk about this video game. They debuted this trailer for this video game. I didn't even know that this thing existed, and then they debuted this. I don't even know really what it is, except the story looks cool. It's like this smuggler again in the Empire Age, where they show you Han Solo kind of in the carbonite at that time. So it's right after Empire, leading into Jedi during that time period, which is interesting. It's always between, either New Hope into Empire. There aren't a lot of stories in between Empire and Jedi, so that's interesting. And there's this kind of smuggler who is just on the run, and it's outlaws. And kind of what I liked about this trailer was the crime syndicate underworld thing that we've been looking to find and looking to see for so long. But I dug the trailer. It's the same thing. I just don't know. They say 2024 is when the game's coming out. Do you know what this? Did you see the trailer?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. What'd you think?
I thought it looked really cool.
Yeah.
I want to play. I guess it's the first open world Star Wars game.
Okay.
Yeah. So people have been wanting this forever, and I read all the comments on the Star Wars post about it. A lot of people were really excited. Like, finally, we've been waiting years for an open world Star Wars game. But then a lot of people were like very upset that you can't personalize your character that you're playing with. That was a huge thing. Like, people
For this one?
Yeah.
For me too. Like, I saw the outrage of like, oh, another female protagonist. My thought was, oh, another female protagonist that looks just like Rey and Jyn.
Mm-hmm.
Brown hair, young girl, lost on her own. It's just like, give us a bald chick. Give us a redhead. Give us a blonde. Like,
So your problem wasn't the fact that you couldn't personalize
no, there
it?
was a huge problem because I thought it was like, oh, that's some of the best open world games you can customize, like Red Dead Redemption or something. You've got like your standard look, but then you can make it, male, female. So you want to immerse yourself. You want to put yourself in that avatar.
Right.
But maybe the story doesn't allow for that.
It's like Hogwarts, right? This new Hogwarts Legacy game.
I believe so. But
so
maybe
my daughter just started playing it, and like
cool.
Yeah, you can make it whoever. I don't understand. I mean,
my thought was
not
that it was a female protagonist. It was just like she looks just like Rey and Jyn, blonde, a brunette, young 20-something.
You were saying though.
Oh yeah, so I think that similar to what Mike's saying, like, people were upset that you couldn't personalize it, and then there was obviously the people who were like, another woman, like, which
You just got Cal Kestis as a guy, so it's like it's fair,
right?
Yeah.
But I do understand if you're playing a game and it's your first open world game, I can empathize with the idea that you can't customize your player.
Yeah.
But I'm sure it would. It's a whole different rendering process.
You're playing as a character in Star Wars. You're not. I'm trying to like.
Well, it's the idea. I mean, look. The first argument I would have made would be like, well, yeah, I guess it's harder for them to kind of change the story mode of it to the character. But the thing is, like, look at Hogwarts, and it changes it.
Perfect
like
example.
Easily.
We're talking space. Mass Effect. You could customize male, female.
It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. Alien, and whatever. It told the same story, and it was just that was your character. So I think a lot of people were coming in this like a Mass Effect, which is phenomenal. It's open world Star Wars almost.
I'm gonna ask you this because I'm not gonna get into my thought process on it. Do you think that was a Kathleen Kennedy note
to make her
you can't change it? It has to be her the whole time through.
maybe because it feels like a business move rather than a game move. Because I just feel like as a gaming company, I don't know, I don't work for one, but why wouldn't you make it customizable? And I think that that makes it cooler as a player.
Yeah.
I think it's more marketable and you can sell toys and things that are this one girl.
Yeah.
Maybe, but maybe not, because it's like then, if you're just marketing to the female audience, but if you customize it and you can have, or why not do both? Why not have?
Oh yeah, like her the main character.
That's
or
the
you could
default.
change it.
The default setting.
It's like what you did in Knights of the Republic. You could play as your character could be a woman, and your character could be a guy.
I think they saw Cal Kestis.
I'll say this.
Yeah, that's
I
true.
think she said, well, we just had the guys.
But that's not
Cal
open world,
Kestis. I know.
Yeah.
But it was a gameplay trailer. They didn't tout anything about the game. Like, you are going to have a customizable character.
Well, they said no, right, Steph?
Did they say no? I don't
think they said no, but everyone, or maybe they did.
I don't know. I
That's
didn't
true.
see anything.
I didn't see
so
a
maybe we're all just
confirmed thing,
jumping to
yeah.
the gun about it.
That's true. But I do think that there's something to be said about everyone's obsessed with Cal. And then what's the Last of Us, like having these characters that become franchise characters from games is profitable, and now you can perhaps make it into a live action. And
I'm torn on that because the Mass Effect, we all know Captain Shepard, that was the guy's name, and what he looked like. But you could make it yourself and make it your own, and that character was still Captain Shepard of Mass Effect.
Oh, that's cool.
So
yeah,
you could create this female character and be a great character to spin off movies, TVs, but you can allow. I think the customization is a big mistake.
I think it's a mistake too. I think they should have customized.
Yeah.
I think you should
even make yourself aliens, different species of aliens.
Yeah.
Like Star Wars. You talk Hogwarts, but Star Wars it's ripe for that.
Yeah,
to make yourself anything.
It should have been. It should. I think it should have been. And that's not to say that you shouldn't have led with that character, that woman, to do exactly what they did.
Right.
But it's like, but you don't. So yeah, if you want to play with her, you can, and if you want to also customize and make it yourself, like that's who's in our promos, and that's who we envisioned in this story. And honestly, if we made a TV show, it probably would be her.
Yeah.
But you guys, if you want to play it, you can customize it as yourself. You
Yeah.
can play it as you said. I think Alien's a great idea. Yeah. I don't know. So it's interesting, but I'm very curious to hear what you guys think. The trailer overall, what do you think of the trailer? Do you think customization matters at all? Do you think it shouldn't? Go ahead and comment and let us know. All right, next story. All right, let's shift to DC. The Flash, man, it's racing to 155 to 165 million debut. On the eve of its release, DC's The Flash is reportedly on track to earn 155 to 165 at the worldwide box office this weekend, looking to make domestically 70 million here. The film initially got a stellar response at a CinemaCon and from very early media screenings. However, a still positive but far more muted response was expressed in the regular reviews over the past fortnight, which has cooled expectations. One thing that the reviews haven't seemed to impact is the tracking that the movie popped up with a projection of 70 to 75 million. Those numbers haven't budged. Part of the cast involved in the film hasn't really been out there promoting it. Keaton's filming Beetlejuice 2, but did show up at a screening in both London and Paris. In addition, late-night talk shows are shut down due to the strike, and Warner's has sidelined the film's controversial star Ezra Miller during the media tour. Miller made their first showbiz appearance since legal troubles at the film's premiere last night. Domestically, The Flash opens against Pixar's Elemental, which is headed for a 35 to 40, and The Blackening, which is targeting a $6 to $8 million start. In addition, holdovers are expected for Transformers: Rise of the Beast and Spider-Man: Across the Spider-Verse, with both set to earn another $30 million each at the box office. So I think this is a pretty good number, to be honest. 70 to 75. I mean, some people would say, oh man, 100, 150, but with all the stuff that's attached to this movie, whether it's the controversies, whether it's the DCU stuff, whether it's all of that, I don't know, Steph. I think this is looks like a pretty decent opening.
Yeah, I definitely think so.
Yeah.
And I think that once more people see it, they'll go and watch it. I also think it's actually done Across the Spider-Verse has done a good service, because I feel like, I don't know, at least me, I feel that it reignited people wanting to go to the theaters. And so it's coming off the heels of that, which I think will fare well for them.
But I also think for Mike, right, I think you represent a lot of people that want to see this movie. You even said it, you were supposed to go to screening with me, and you're like, you wanted to see it. You weren't sure if they were showing the full version, and you said in your text, I've been waiting for Keaton to come back as Batman for so long. I want it to be the finished version, which ultimately was the finished version, but I understand you know your concern on it. You represent the people who are coming back in our generation that want to see Keaton.
Yeah.
So I mean that's got to add to a lot of this box office.
Of course, and like it's interesting. I was follow this one guy on Twitter who's a box office guy, and he reviews movies, but he's not a critic per se. He thinks this movie's gonna kill. He's like, it's lowballing it. He thinks general audiences that aren't aware, like if you read all the reviews that have knocked it down to like 70 something on Rotten Tomatoes, they're all critiquing Ezra Miller, not his performance.
Not all of them are. I mean, so I actually made the point. I think I read a bunch that did.
Yeah.
But some people are like, oh, not everybody said that, and that's not what I was saying. I think that those people that you can have your opinions on Ezra Miller.
Yeah.
You can absolutely. And if you choose not to see it, your prerogative. But if you go into that movie as a critic, not thinking about the movie, but just looking at Ezra Miller going, they shouldn't be in this movie.
Right.
You shouldn't see the movie.
No.
It's not fair to anybody else in the movie, because you're not reviewing the movie, you're reviewing what you're talking about.
So, and then you see the audience score of like 98%. Like, I think people are talking, this is going to be a Top Gun thing where people are going in like, I don't know about this, but then word of mouth builds and builds and builds. I think that's what's going to happen with it.
Could be.
I think it's going to have a very like small drop second weekend.
Yeah.
I'll put it around 50% probably.
Yeah. And Indy probably won't take too much of a chunk out of it.
I think
different audience.
And again, I could be completely wrong. You know, I think. Do I think it's going to be the greatest comic book movie of all time? No.
No, it's
I
not.
didn't think Spider-Verse was the greatest comic book movie of all time. I loved it.
Yeah.
It's not even the best Spider-Man movie in my opinion.
I feel the same. Yeah.
But I'm going in not with those expectations. And I think there are a lot of people I'm reading online like, and they'll just show a clip. this is the greatest comic movie of all time. So they're already going in with this. And I think maybe it did a disservice. They were trying to hype it up for so long.
Definitely did a disservice. Because
They've been screening this movie for like 6 months.
I know. Well, you're close to it. I really enjoyed the movie. I really enjoyed it. But I also went into it going here and there. There was a review of somebody I knew the morning that I saw it saying this is the greatest superhero movie of all time. And I was like, really?
How?
And when I saw it at the end, I thought it was a very good movie. But it does do it a disservice because you have these expectations now. And this person was the only person that said it. There were tons of people that said it.
I know.
You going into this movie now with what are your expectations? You have not seen it yet.
No, and I don't really have expectations, bad or good.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna really enjoy the movie. I'm not super attached to any of the characters.
Okay.
So I think I actually have a really great chance of just like loving it because I don't have that emotional
Attachment.
tie to it that will make me feel one way or another. So I'm really just excited to see it. Like I think it's a great time for superhero comic book movies because Marvel's taking like this doesn't have a movie out right now. We had Across the Spider-Verse, but I feel like it's a good opening for
right.
Yeah, we have a good opening for the DCU to be like, okay, we had the Suicide Squad, which to me was incredible, and now we've had Black Adam, and Shazam, which were a little like lower in the fan, and then this one I think is good for them.
Being generous.
Yeah. I didn't see the.
I didn't mind either one of the movies, but they both ate.
They
They both ate farts.
Yeah, they're like what you stream.
Yeah. Well, it's a lot more to go into with that for sure. But like, let's go into. We have one or two more stories before we take off. But I have to tell you the most important thing of all, and shave your ball bags. You got to shave, especially Father's Day coming around the corner, man. We got to talk about that. And also, after you do, you might be, well, I'm a little cold now because I don't have anything warming me up down there. Well, you got a Rumpl blanket. I'll tell you about both right now because it's Father's Day, man. You got to feel good. And you haven't gotten your dad anything yet, have you? Nope, you haven't. You know you haven't. And you're like, what am I going to do? Well, today, I'm telling you, sponsoring the show is Manscaped. You and I both know your dad, he needs some serious grooming in his life. Come on. Especially the old timers, man. They don't know. They get to a place like, I don't got to do this. Talk to him about it. Get your dad that Performance Package 4.0. He's going to thank you. It's a win-win situation for not only your dad, but everyone in your family. Whether it's your mom, your dad, anybody, because your dad's going to be walking around, skipping around. He's going to feel like a brand new dude. Go to manscaped.com. Use that code BIGTHING. 20% off and free shipping. It's amazing. I love it. I use it all the time, man. I'm not even kidding. I love it. It's so good. Manscaped's the only men's brand dedicated to below-the-waist grooming and perfected their game with that Lawnmower 4.0. It is next level. It's next level. I'll be honest. I have two of them. I have one of them for actual for my balls. I got the other one for like everything else that I needed. I've cut my hair with one. Not the same. I don't use both for the same purpose, but you know what I'm saying. They also have a great beard trimmer too. But you're going to ask me, how is the Lawnmower 4.0 different from the other ones? It's an upgraded trimmer. It includes a multifunction on-off switch that can engage a travel lock, which is an amazing feature. It gives you the ability to turn the 4000K LED spotlight on and off when you need a more precise shave. It's awesome. You want to go in the dark, shave your balls in the forest if you have to. You'll be able to see it. They have tons of products, whether it's cologne, crop mops, ball wipes, crop reviver, ball toner, crop preserver, all of it. It's amazing. Get your dad. You know that he will use it. You have to get it. 20% off, free shipping at manscaped.com. Use that code BIGTHING. Don't forget, you know what? You came from your dad's balls. That's where you were. And now pay him back by saying, I used to live there. Look at that. They cleaned that place up. Looks good. Manscaped.com. Use that code BIGTHING. I'm so glad we're with Rumpl, man. So glad I keep getting DMs and ats and all that stuff. People telling me, you were right. I love Rumpl. And somebody said, I got one to help out the show, but I didn't realize I'm probably going to buy more because I love them. And if it wasn't for you and your show, it was just trying to help your stupid ass out. I wouldn't have done it. I'm glad that I did, and I'm glad they did. Rumpl's on a mission to introduce the world to better blankets. They're made with durable, sustainable materials, and they're built to last. They recycle over 5 million plastic water bottles a year. They are B Corp certified, climate neutral, and they donate 1% of all their sales to environmental causes. I love these blankets because they don't fall apart. You can take them to a take them to a soccer field and sit on them there. You can take them camping, and then they have blankets you can just curl up on your couch and watch movies and TV with. I have a bunch of them that I do all that stuff with. They have over 135 unique designs, and there's a blanket for everybody. Yeah, they're not just for outdoors; they're everywhere. You can do it for everything. It's great. You just want to you got an outside area. You want to curl up and just look at the stars. Do that. No, I just want to watch TV. Do that. It's the best. They have cozy hemp fleece, Sherpas, everything. Now, go to rumple.com/thebigthing. Use that code THEBIGTHING at checkout, and you get 10% off your first order. Rumple.com/thebigthing. Use that code THEBIGTHING.
Just wrap your balls up in the blanket.
See? Steph knows. Anyway, look, this is, like, as I mentioned earlier before, people, when you wind up getting any of this stuff, whether it's Manscaped, Rumpl, any of it, please let me know. And also let me know, obviously, what you think, because I forward that over, and that is what helps this show move on. That is what helps this show continue, is the sponsors. So it's like, oh, how does it work? Just because if I click on it and watch it? No, click on the link and try one of them. Try Manscaped, try Rumpl, and let me know afterwards what you think of them. We do not sign up to any of these sponsors that we don't think you're going to like or need. So please go and check that out. All right, Steph, I know you really want to talk about this. I know you love this. I could tell. Bambi, it's coming, live action, but Sarah Polley has been announced to direct a live action Bambi. Now, I would assume this is going to be, kind of be like Lion King.
Oh my God.
What? Did you not know this was coming?
I didn't know this was happening. I thought that was a photo of Bambi farting out a butterfly. What is that?
That's what the whole movie is going to be.
Yeah, I would watch that any day.
Yeah.
No, but for real,
yeah.
What? You want to traumatize a new generation? We've already been through this. It didn't work out well.
Live action, following her Oscar win with...
you guys are going to put this baby dying?
The baby doesn't die.
Or the mom
dies,
dying?
Yeah. Following her Oscar... No, I'm kidding. It's a 70-year-old movie.
Yeah.
Following her Oscar win with Women Talking, taking the Best Adapted Screenplay this year, Sarah Polley is in talks to direct the live-action adaptation of Bambi. Comes in very early development at Disney and said to be a musical, featuring music from 6-time Grammy-winning country star Casey Musgraves.
Oh, my God.
Disney first hired writers Geneva Robertson-Dorrit and Lindsay Beer for the project back in early 2020. Yada, yada, yada. All right, so, Steph, we're going to start with you.
Does this sound insane to you guys? Like, this, I don't know what, like, if there's something in my coffee, but you reading that sounds like a joke to me. Is that really for real?
Yeah.
That's for real?
Well, why wouldn't it be, though, if you look at the Lion King?
Because, I don't know, I need to rewatch Bambi, I guess, but to me that felt like a movie you created in the 50s when we didn't have, like, it was more like, I don't know.
Well, they're not redoing Song of the South.
I know. Yeah.
They're doing Bambi.
I don't know why this feels so bizarre to me. And then I actually like Casey Musgraves as a person.
Mm-hmm.
I think she has a few songs I like. I don't love country that much, but the idea of a live action country like pop Bambi, I hope it's iconic.
Yeah.
I really do. This might be the most iconic movie ever, but it sounds hilarious.
Do you remember the 1985
Song of the South? I do remember.
No, the 1985 Godzilla movie.
Yeah, of course.
And you remember
98. It's 1998.
Cool, but you remember the 1985? Do you remember the 1985 Godzilla movie that I just brought up 5 seconds ago? Apparently not.
85 Godzilla?
Okay, you didn't remember it.
No, I don't.
So they opened it up with like this Bambi doing something, and Godzilla comes in and like eats Bambi. Or
What?
Something.
Oh, that's funny.
85?
Something like that. I think it was. I literally think it was called Godzilla 1985.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Anyway, but this was inevitable because they have all these movies that they're doing live action for. It was inevitable.
Double dip.
They should do the Sword in the Stone and stop playing.
For real.
Sword in the Stone. Put Merlin, Madam Mim. Madam Mim is one of the best villains ever.
Barry Jenkins is
My
doing
head's
Barry
exploding
Jenkins.
now with you two.
So Barry Jenkins is directing the Mufasa movie, and that's coming out soon. So you knew this was going to come. What's that?
Didn't he die? Mufasa?
It's a prequel.
Ah.
Yeah, it's a prequel.
Spoiler! Another scarring moment for children.
God.
But I have been working on my Optimus Prime impression.
Really?
Oh, for fuck.
Can I see here?
Sure.
Oh, God.
Ready?
Here we go.
Mike Kalinowski, roll out and shut up. Eat your pretzels.
That's amazing. Tell me that's not awesome.
You do know that I am a
Shut up.
transformer.
You're a moron.
You're a
I'm not the voice, but no, I work with the voice actors that are. That's no.
and not you don't think that's good? To me, Shut up.
Oh, you sound like one of those people that has like a voice box.
Don't worry about it.
Oh God, let's go. Come on,
Mike Kalinowski.
Here it is again.
That's really damn good. I feel like Optimus Prizzle is in the room
Optimus
with us.
Prismal.
Prismal.
Watch the Bambi movie.
Oh my
Like
god.
Optimus past his prime.
Good one. You should be a comedian.
Thanks, Steph.
Just kidding. That was terrible. All right. Let's close out with this, and we'll get out of here. All right. James Gunn was on Michael Rosenbaum's podcast, and they talked a lot of stuff. And James Gunn, he talked about casting rumors around Superman, and a little under a week ago came a report that the first person in tests with DC chiefs Safran and Gunn will take place this coming weekend. Those reports suggest that Nicholas Hoult, David Corenswet, Tom Brittany would all be up for the role. So he shot down those stories about the auditions and the names attached to the DC universe, which he and Peter Safran are building, going into detail. He said this: now that we've kind of done a lot of auditions, we're narrowing it down. We're not done yet. There are things in there that are completely false, but I can't go out there and say this isn't true and this isn't true without going through everything. By the way, it's not the audiences at this point. I don't even think it's the business of anyone who is screen testing for a role. It's just a very private thing. Journalists have to do what they have to do. That's their job, and they're trying to get hits. They find out something from agencies, but here's the problem, is that they find out something from agencies that might be true. They find out other things from agencies, which are agencies pushing their clients and try to pump it up like I think my client is testing. There's a lot of nonsense that comes out of it, and that's difficult because there's people out there that are supposedly testing and they aren't, and that must be difficult for them as people. And then there's other people that might be testing, and I think it's a private thing between me and them. So he also warned fans not to believe anything unless it came from him or Safran. Gunn also offered an update on how the second season of Peacemaker is progressing. He confirmed the show would return, and it would be his immediate post-Superman legacy work. Peacemaker's coming back right after Superman. That's my next thing. I'll go straight from Superman to Peacemaker. It's not unusual for Gunn, who directed the Suicide Squad in late 2019, early 2020, and then jumped right into Peacemaker for the first half of 2021. Finishing that shoot before the Squad movie opened in cinemas 2021. Gunn could potentially film Superman early next year and then have Peacemaker before Legacy hits in 2025. Mike, does this stuff, as a DC fanatic, does this stuff with him as busy as he is working on these, this seems like a director's schedule, not a head of studio schedule. So does this make you nervous at all that he's going to have too much on his plate?
No.
Okay.
No, I think I feel like he's living it. You know, I think he's doing what we want Filoni to be doing, in charge of the universe, but working on projects. I think it might be in that podcast where he talked about DC, and he's just like, I have a chance to world build. We have Gotham City, Metropolis, Themyscira, these made up places that I can world build and create a world. It's not our world that we live in right now. It's these other places, and I'm immersed in this world of world building. And I love that he said that. So it's like, of course, these places need to be. We've not seen Metropolis realized ever, like Tim Burton did Gotham City. Not in the way that it's the city of tomorrow.
Like Donner did it?
No.
Okay.
It's New York. Are you kidding me?
Oh, take it easy.
And that's why I don't love the Donner films as much as everyone does. I'll say that. Why I don't love with reverence the Donner films that everyone does. They're great, but it's like the Statue of Liberty, the World Trade, the Twin Towers. It's like it's New York. They didn't do anything
to make it different.
Metropolis needs to be the city of tomorrow. It needs to be as different as Tim Burton's Gotham City was in the first Batman.
Okay. Well,
so he's in charge of it. Like he wants to do this. So it's in great hands.
Well, speaking of Superman, though, what did you think about his comments about like the casting and the rumors and all that?
I love it. I just trust this guy, you know? Like he just says what he means and he means what he says, and it's very refreshing.
It's a great point that I've never thought about before where these scoopers like, where are they getting this? It's like, yeah, agencies of course go, hey, my guy's testing for Superman. When he's not, but his name's out there then. Yeah. And it's out in the zeitgeist.
It's promotion. It's free promotion.
Yeah, I never thought about that. But I also love people like Gunn needs to step back. He's like, no, I love that he's out there shooting stuff down. I love that.
I don't mind shooting stuff down. I don't mind that part of it. It's sometimes I think that it goes back into my initial question to you is he's just doing so much. Like maybe stay off social media, but there's some people who are prone to like it, thrive from
Right.
it. and
It's
really
not
like-
it's not work for
No,
them.
he likes to do
Yeah.
Look at his output.
Yeah, I know.
Guardians right into the Suicide Squad. Like both films, great films.
Right.
And now he's running this. Like I think the guy just loves. He fires on those kind of high level.
He does, and plus Twitter and all that. But I think, look, I still do think, and he said as much. Some of it could be true. Some of it isn't. I think that David Cornsweet guy is going to be the guy. I think it's going to be Cornsweet, and I think it's going to be Rachel Brosnahan.
I like. That's Maisel, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I want
Perfect.
I want it to be
want it to
the
be those two.
actress who played in Bridgerton.
Was she rumored?
Yeah.
Okay.
the two names you said. I think that's it. That Cornsweet guy. When I see him, I'm
He
like,
looks like Superman.
but he also looks like that. He's like. You want him? He's hug. Like
Yeah.
you want him to give you a hug and like say it's gonna be okay.
Well,
He's got that.
That's why I love.
He's got something about him.
I love Nicholas Holt, but shave
No.
his head and put him as Lex Luthor.
He would have been a better Batman. I know he tested for Batman.
Did he?
He would have been a better
Yeah.
Batman than
Yeah.
or Luthor. He'd be a great Luthor.
That's what I just.
Yeah.
I know you said that. I'm piggybacking on what you said.
All right, everybody. Thank you for joining us here today. That's going to wrap us up. We want to hear from you. So any of the subjects that we talked about today, please let your comments be known. Hit that like button, throw the comments in there. It helps the show tremendously. Obviously, as I mentioned before, please get one of those sponsors. It will help the show, and it'll help you guys out for sure. Make sure you head on over to thekristianharloff.com. You can buy either the live stream ticket or the live in-person ticket at the New York Comedy Club. Look at that crew. Mark Ellis, me, Double Toasted, Corey and Martin, Brett Sheridan, Jen Sturger, and Kate Mulligan going to be there. Hit that button. 100,000. We're trying to get there. And Apple, Spotify, anywhere podcasts are found. Help us out. All right. Steph, where can they find you?
At Steph Sabra, and I'm wearing this really cool merch the World Girls made
cool.
that's available on theworldgirls.com.
Awesome. And Michael?
Muy bien.
Muy bien.
I love it.
all
At
you-
Mike Kalinowski. That's where you can find
That's
me.
all you got.
Yeah, man.
All right. Thanks, guys. Appreciate you. We'll see you on the flip side. Big thing. Yeah.